Elected officials in the Hudson Valley have been pushing back against a plan from Mayor Adams that would offer asylum seekers currently staying in the city an opportunity to relocate on a voluntary basis to hotels in Rockland and Orange counties. The mayor calls this a decompression strategy. He says he's been forced to undertake this because there's been a vacuum of leadership. He's referring there to the Biden administration in Washington, along with other federal lawmakers who he thinks haven't done enough to handle this problem. Adams has criticized that there's been not enough done to change federal immigration policy and help the city as asylum seekers find their way here. That plan drew immediate negative reaction from the elected officials in the Hudson Valley, including the region's recently elected Republican congressman. Congressman Mike Lawler, in part, said it is unacceptable for Eric Adams to be sending migrants out of New York City and into communities that aren't sanctuary cities or counties. Congressman Lawler represents New York's 17th district, which includes Rockland County and Putnam County, along with parts of Westchester. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
I want to ask you the bigger question here. Is there not an obligation on the part of the entire region to share the burden of some of the people who are in our midst and who need help?
Well, first of all, the crisis here is a result of the failure to secure our border. We've had tens of thousands of migrants crossing our border illegally, many of them, yes, seeking asylum, but those asylum cases are taking 2 to 3 years to be heard. And so we have a real humanitarian crisis. New York City chose to be a sanctuary city. And so you've had a lot of governors and mayors and small town elected officials shipping migrants up to New York City. And now the city, who has taken in about 60,000 migrants, is at capacity. And so they're deciding to do the very thing that they were decrying just a few months ago. Mayor Adams called it morally bankrupt. And now he is choosing to send migrants to areas like Rockland County, which do not have the infrastructure nor the capabilities to handle that big of an influx of migrants in need of services. The mayor is saying, oh, we're going to pay for it for 4 months. Well, after the 4 months expire, who's paying for it? Have any of these people been vetted? Does anybody know their backgrounds? And the answer is obviously no. And so, this hotel in question is less than a mile from 2 universities, school, and you have 340 single adult male migrants being sent here. It's totally unacceptable. There was no communication or coordination. It was just being told, the county executive and the town supervisor, this is what's happening. That's not the way you, as a colleague in government.